for joining me. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Hey, I appreciate all the text messages and emails with topics that I should cover. I just didn't imagine that I would have so many requests about topics I should hit on in my conversation. So continue sending me those. I'm even getting text messages, but continue to send me topics that you want to talk about. That's what's important to me. That's what I want to talk about. We all have something we want to vent about in this society and today's climate. And I know I have covered over the past few shows Ahmaud Arbery. I have to continue this conversation about Ahmaud and videos, comments, protests that are ongoing because it's important. Because I feel like we can't let this issue go unattended. We can't let it die down. We have to stay invigorated. We have to continue the conversation. We have to continue the call to action to ensure that it just doesn't go away. The problem's not going to go away without us continuing our efforts and our demands for change. So I wanted to ask your thoughts about 2020 graduates having virtual graduations. I'm going to talk about that on Thursday, but I also want to celebrate our graduates. I have a son, 17-year-old senior, who's graduating, and we are having a virtual graduation. I just want to have a show that's dedicated to the 2020 graduates, high school, college, middle school graduates, fifth grade whatever graduation that you are sharing with your child, with your friend, with someone that you know that didn't get to walk across that stage. So send me your pictures, upload your pictures, the graduate's name, their high school or their school where they are graduating from, and their plans for the fall if they are graduating from high school or from undergrad. What are their plans for the fall? And I'd like to celebrate them on Thursday. So like I said, I wanted to continue this conversation that we are having about Ahmaud Arbery. And first, I would like to talk about the public response to the case. What's been your response? What is your response to what's going on? Do you have a response? Do you have a feeling? What is your personal reaction? What did it invoke in you? I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to know your response. And I have a response I want to share with you later on from a colleague. But before I do that, I would like to talk about Atlanta lawyers showing up for Ahmaud Arbery. Mawuli Davis organized a protest on Saturday. The focus of the protest was to demand justice, which in part is calling for the removal of DAs Jackie Johnson and George Barnhill. Now, on a few of the previous episodes, I talked about the history of the DAs. I reviewed which DA received the case first and recused herself, which was Jackie Johnson, and then George Barnhill recusing himself. The letter, I shared his letter, his recusal letter, and I had the link, and you can go to that link on last week's show or 2 shows ago. And in his letter, he talked about the case, the facts of the case, and still made a recommendation not to arrest George McMichaels and Travis McMichaels, which as attorneys, we all know that's very problematic in and of itself, to recuse yourself because you find that there may be a conflict of interest, and then despite the conflict of interest that you've identified in your letter, then make a recommendation. There's some problems with that. So Mawuli Davis is talking about or demanding some justice. There was a protest on Saturday. And in the video I'm going to show you, just to give some background, Mr. Davis is asking for 74 seconds of silence from the protesters. And the 74 seconds of silence, of course, represents the 74 days that it took the proper authorities to make arrests. To make an arrest of Greg and Travis McMichael. So I would like to try and share this page with you to show the video of the protest, just an excerpt of the video of the protest, which I actually had to get from Mr. Davis's Facebook page. And you all know that I always have problems because I don't have a production team. And so I am doing this all myself. So I always ask that you be patient. I am going to tee this up and see if I can. Looks like it's working. So we just added to the cause with pausing for 74 seconds as well, just as, I apologize for this, let me stop this. Well, there's always something. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing here. And we just contributed to the cause. And here is a comment already about the video and about Mr. Davis from, again, my accountability partner and colleague, friend, sister-in-law, Gidget Johnson. Gidget says that Mawuli is a champion for justice for our people. If he's behind a cause, we can all hitch our wagons to follow his leadership. We are blessed to have him in Georgia. We most certainly are, which is why I pulled that video from the protest from Mawuli's Facebook page. And I hope to have Mawuli come on here and talk about the protest, his continued efforts. Mawuli, I applaud the continued efforts of our legal community and families to be organized, to be peaceful, and to be unified in our efforts to demand action. Everyone is kneeling and committed to the cause. It's just a beautiful scene to see, led by Mr. Davis. Let's stay energized in voicing the injustices that are a part of our daily struggle. It is not enough to write or share one article. This is not a one-time thing. Keep sharing, keep writing posts, keep reaching out to your local representatives, keep coming on here and sharing your thoughts with me. We all have to stay committed every day in contributing to this effort. So what do we do? What have you done? What have you done to contribute to this effort? I'm asking you. I'm almost scared to ask because the last time I asked that on this show, I ended up in Brunswick, Georgia with Miss Johnson. So I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what the different cells around the nation are doing to make sure that our cause receives the appropriate and the consistent voices of everyone around the nation. So again, Gidget Johnson, I think she was a writer in a past life, although she's an attorney. So in addition to protesting, she writes, and she writes often, to continue the conversation and to contribute to the cause. I'm going to post one of her posts. I'm going to share one of her posts that she shared with me. And her post is talking about the attorneys for Gregory Michaels and for Travis McMichaels. I'm sorry, it's McMichaels. And I have a picture of the attorneys for Dad showing. This is Franklin Hogue and Laura Hogue from Macon, Georgia. I do not have a picture of the attorneys who are located in Decatur, Georgia, but they are seasoned attorneys known in the area, criminal defense attorneys Bob Rubin and Jason Sheffield. And here is the post I am now going to share with you from Gidget. It's a pretty long post. I would ask that you we have it in the comments. I would ask that you take some time to read her post. Just very powerful, controversial, I would say, but necessary. Her post is highlighting several concerns or realities that exist. Obviously, the need for criminal defense attorneys to do their jobs. So you don't have a choice. You're paid, you got to do your job and defend people, whether you believe they are right or wrong. But also the defense attorneys fitting the mold of white Southern hospitality. Her comments also talk about the video will be difficult evidence for the defense attorneys to overcome, the attorneys not having Black children and having the fear that most of us live with every day for ourselves and our Black children, and hoping that white people who are filled with hatred do not spread their hatred to our good white friends. The last quote that I just want to share with you from her post is that money will make the colors in the fabric of our beings show. And I like the way that Gidget wrote that because it is unfortunate, but I do think that it is what makes America, it's how we were created, and it's what makes America continue to be who we are, good and bad. But there is a price that can be paid, and when that is done, it shows true colors. It shows the true fabric of our society, of who we are as Americans. This is how our society was built. It's unfortunate. We have to overcome this. But we have to talk about it, and we have to call it what it is. So I think Gidget is unapologetic in her post. Please take a look at it. The entire post will not fit up here in the scroll. So I would ask that you just take a look at her comment. Good morning, Jamie. For her previous comment is, I'm sick. She's sick, I'm angry, I'm tired. I'm watching it as it unfolds. I am speaking out as it unfolds. I am opinionated, and I am not keeping my opinions to myself. And I think that's how we all feel. I think, there was a time when I said to myself, I think, Gidget, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we shared this, you don't want to get too political on your Facebook. We're attorneys. We don't want to get too political with our views or our opinions on Facebook. So I was cautious. I was cautious about sharing my feelings or my views about social issues or injustices, in fear that it may somehow detrimentally impact my business, my practice, and now I have changed my position on that, and I have to speak about it. I have a duty to talk about it. We have a duty not to accept and turn a blind eye. What I once felt was inappropriate, I now feel is a requirement of who I am and what I do and my platform. And I would be remiss if I didn't use my gifts and my skills and my talents to further the cause, to contribute to the cause. That's where I am now. And that's probably some internal growth. And that's probably some over 45, I don't give a as well. I'm just going to call it like it is. I think when you start out, there's just so many things you have to think about. Your reputation, who's going to hire you if you're going to be hired. I don't have those same concerns right now. I know who I am. I know my skills and talent. And right now, I am being called in this direction to help further this cause. I didn't always feel this way. I didn't always feel comfortable about speaking on political or social issues. And now I feel pulled. I feel called. I feel like it's imperative. It is natural. And I owe a duty and a responsibility. I do want to share the lawyer's creed because I know that there is a demand for the recusal of Jackie Johnson and for George Barnhill. Not the recusal, but the removal from their office because of their actions or their inactions. Or a combination thereof, because the letter was simply inappropriate that George Barnhill wrote. But we are asking that they be removed. And so I talked about this on the 1380 WAOK with Wandalyn Stokes. I could not find in the rules of professional responsibility where there was a clear violation by either. I think that the way that George Barnhill recused himself and the communication that he made was not appropriate. Could it be pursued by the bar? I'm having some issues with that, but we have a creed that we take an oath when we enter the bar. We take an oath. I've included the link in the comments. Take a look at it. Now, this is the problem. This is where there is a problem and moral issue with how Jackie Johnson and George Barnhill addressed this issue, this case, and conducted themselves as members of our bar. So take a look at the lawyer's creed. It is definitely several issues with their lack of actions or the letter that George Barnhill wrote that just, it is exactly what the lawyer's creed is set out to say. Listen, this is what we should do. This is what we shouldn't do. This is how we should conduct ourselves. We are tools to ensure justice. That's what we do. That's what the lawyer's creed is about. And there is where they failed. They failed as members of our bar to contribute and to ensure that there is justice, okay? And that's an issue. But is it a violation of the rules of professional responsibility? I could not find one. I cannot find where a rule was violated. But I think that the Department of Justice, who has intervened in this case, that there are other issues that can be pursued in other forums where they fell short of their duties. And I hope that these other agencies can take some action to ensure that this doesn't happen again, and that they don't get the opportunity to continue to serve, to represent the people that they turn a blind eye to. I have another comment here by Val Griffin. Good morning. I too feel that I need to be cautious about what I post on social media, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's right. And I think you just get to the point where you try to be reserved, because you have white friends, you have black friends, you have Indian friends, you have all kinds of friends. You don't want to offend anybody. You don't want your job to be at risk because you have an opinion. But then there comes a point where you just have to say, I have a social responsibility. We all do. And what we do and the platforms that we have to contribute or to acquiesce. And I refuse to acquiesce anymore. Here's another comment by Ivory Brown, my mentor, a family law attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia. If we all raise our voices, our roar will be heard. And that is what I am trying to do. I am roaring in every forum that I have available to me. Ivory, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your inspiration as always. I think that this is the time. We are forced to be at home. We are forced to reflect, to look inward, and these things are happening around us. If we don't speak on it, if we don't put words to the pain that we are experiencing and that our young boys are experiencing, there will not be a change. We will stay where we are. We'll be on the other side of COVID, right where we were before COVID. I'm not willing to sit down. I'm not willing to acquiesce. If I don't get any more clients because they're scared that I might speak out on a social issue that they don't agree with, then that's not the client that I need. That's where I am now. Where are you? Where are you? Cheryl Kelly, another family law attorney. I have a lot of family law attorney friends, y'all. But this is Cheryl Kelly. Thank you. She just says, amen. Nice, sweet, and simple. I appreciate you, Cheryl. Here's Marnie Ferguson. Marnie is a baseball mom. I became really good friends with her. She is just an awesome soul. Marnie says, and by the way, y'all, my sister's name is Marnie, spelled without an E. But Marnie says, hey, Melanie, thank you for continuing to use your voice. The colonized mind is difficult. We must break it down. Thank you for the encouragement. It was scary at first. Do I say this? Do I say that? Am I going to offend this person? Listen, wait one legal minute. If it smells like, then it is. That's, if I offend you in my thoughts and my opinion and the way that I express myself, then you need to support another live Facebook show, because I have committed to myself that I am just going to be me and my skin and who I am and what I think and what I feel and what I see, and I'm going to call it like it. Gidget says, yes, God will provide us clients as he always does. And he sure does. And I think that as he takes me, because I believe he's leading me down this road, I have to follow and I have to trust that he is going to continue to protect me and continue to provide for me. And my plan isn't what I thought it was going to be, hence me sitting here talking about a political issue for starters. And he will continue to provide for me. And the right clients will continue to be attracted to me. So please, good morning, Tony. Thank you for continuing to support me. I wanted to show another video in here. Now I'm going to do something that I have been trying to do, and y'all know I have these technical difficulties, but I think I got it today. So I'm going to share another video. This one is on the an incident in 2017 when Ahmaud Arbery was stopped by the police. The reason for the stop was because The area was known for drugs. Okay, that was the reason. He said it on the video. He's being stopped because the area was known for drugs. Now, wait one legal minute. So not that I was involved with drugs, but that because the area was known for drugs, you just gonna stop me? We that's where we are now. We're stopping individuals without probable cause that they themselves committed a crime, and instead they're walking through a crime-ridden area. Wait one legal minute. Can y'all all say that together with me? Wait one legal minute. So I am going to play this in my stream. I'm really learning how to do this, y'all. I'm getting better by the weeks. All right, so here is the video. I'm going to play it.
Reveals a previous encounter between Arbery and two officers. His family lawyers say that this raises more questions about the local police department's conduct. Omar Villafranca is following this story for us.
You got an ID on you, man?
Body cam footage from 2017, first obtained by The Guardian, shows a Glynn County police officer approach Ahmaud Arbery in a Brunswick, Georgia park.
Grab it with you, okay?
As the officer returns from running Arbery's license, Ahmaud appears to be upset.
I ain't got on me. What want me for?
I'll tell you why I'm here, man.
Why?
I'll tell you why I'm here. Because this area is known for drug activity.
You got no reason to touch me, bro.
I'm not searching you. I'm checking you for weapons. All right, man?
Less than 2 minutes later, another officer appears, and Arbery refuses to let them search his car.
You're not allowing me to search your car?
You can't go in my.
I'm not asking you. Just don't reach the car, man.
Your hand out your pocket.
Hands out your pocket.
Hand out your pocket.
The second officer then orders Arbery to the ground after he fires his taser, but it malfunctions and doesn't shock Arbery.
I got 1 day off a week. 1 day.
Okay.
1 day off a week. I'm trying to chill on my day off, bro.
Eventually, they let Arbery go, and he walks away. More than 2 years later, Arbery would be killed by father and son Gregory and Travis McMichael while on a run. Neither McMichael was a Glynn County police officer, but they suspected Arbery was burglarizing a construction site in their neighborhood. The property owner says Arbery took nothing, and surveillance footage shows multiple people walking in. The handling of Arbery's case has drawn widespread scrutiny. The McMichaels were arrested months after his death. A judge outside the circuit where Arbery was shot is now handling the case after 5 others recused themselves, and 3 district attorneys have passed on prosecuting it.
I'm speechless. What do you see? What do you see when you watch the video? I'm sure there are folks out there who have different perspectives that possibly even believe that Ahmaud was the aggressor in that illegal stop. What's your opinion? Had you seen this video before? What are your thoughts? Here's mine. Black man driving, illegal stop, search and seizure, no arrest, harassment. Plain, simple. It's simple. All kinds of Fourth Amendment violation. In this one video, they searched him after saying that he was not a suspect of any crime and proceeded to look for weapons. That is basic illegal stop, search, and seizure. There was no probable cause for the police to impede his progress, to stop him, and to search him. Here's a comment. There's the smile his 11th grade teacher, Miss Lovin, said he had. Yes, it was in the video. Gidget and I met Ahmaud's 11th grade teacher when we were at the protest. Such a sweet lady, had so many good things to say about Ahmaud. Marnie says, so typical of media to defame him as a young Black man. It's like the same story, different day. Yeah, this is the life for our young Black men. This is the fear for mothers of young Black men, which is why I have to put a voice to it. I can't worry about what it's going to do to my business or to my reputation in my field. This is important because I have one. I have an Ahmaud Arbery. I have a young Black man who is confident and secure with himself and comes from a good family. Have you seen Ahmaud's family? I mean, these are kids who were raised right, raised in the church with values, with a support system, with resources. Doesn't matter. That's not what these officers are seeing. They see a young Black man, nice build, nice frame, and they don't have to abide by the law. And then there are protections for them when they don't. So here is a comment from Dr. Rochelle Fisher Bradford, who happens to be my best friend. She says, I think what might be helpful from the legal community is clear guidelines about our rights. I know in a general, but not specific sense. That is a great show topic. I saw someone sent me a video, and I'm running over a little time, but someone did send me a video on a forum, and I wanted to discuss it, but then this video of Ahmaud in the 2017 arrest came up, and I wanted to have some discussion on it. So Dr. Bradford, thank you for that. I will definitely address that. I have another comment from Ellery Tacoman. If a jerk cop illegal stops me, I can be defensive and aggressive. Sad that we have to make the decision between asserting our rights and going home alive. And this is from an attorney, everybody. Miss Ellery Tacoman is another family law attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia. So you have attorneys who are learned in the law, who understand their constitutional rights. And like she says, because I'm in full agreement, I don't care that I know the law. Knowing the law is not going to make me have any comfort. There's no comfort in knowing the law when you understand our society. That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. But it is a decision. It is a call that we have to make even when we know the law and we ourselves are officers. We are officers of the tribunal. But we still have to make a call and decide if we are going to voice and exercise our known constitutional rights or shrink down, can comply and not be vocal and not be who we are and not share what we know. And that's sad. I got a little teared up about that because we got to shrink for them to be aggressive or shrink because we're concerned that they are not going to abide by the law. And by they, I'm talking about the police officers. When we are stopped, even if we are attorneys, we make decisions on how we're going to handle that stop. Because you don't know if the police officers are going to abide by the law, if they're going to abuse their authority as police officers or not. Thank you so much, Cortland. Cortland says, keep going, Mel. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, continued support. Here's another comment. Too broad, too many rights can't be put in one show, one pamphlet. You are exactly right. And there are too many different circumstances. Every scenario is different, because every police officer is different in how they carry out their position. But I think that we could get some general guidance, and maybe that's a show and some thought that I can have with some colleagues, anybody who's interested in helping me pull something together. I guess what we need to know how to navigate a stop. Our sons need to know how to navigate a stop. We need to know how to navigate a stop. And you have to, and I think that it would be worthy to have a guideline in there, and I can show some things. I agree with every situation is going to be different. And knowing the law is helpful, but it doesn't mean that you can be comfortable. And it doesn't mean that you can be confident. Because sometimes it just doesn't matter. And I think that's what Gidgets' point is. Here's another comment. It is ridiculous. I just watched a video yesterday where a Black man who was in a delivery truck was trying to leave a gated community after his delivery, and he was blocked from leaving the HOA president of the community with his car because the president didn't think he belonged in a gated neighborhood. Wait one legal minute. It's just absurd. It's absurd. And the way people use their position, and he was just the HOA president, to carry out what they believe is the law. I have another comment by my ever so candid sister-in-law, how to navigate a traffic stop. This is from a criminal defense attorney. Won't help when we have lawless folk who have no regard for our lives. Agreed. We can do all the right things and still get killed. Gidget, you're right. I appreciate all of the support. I'm going to remind you to please, we're going to go to a lighter subject. We're going to go into a celebratory phase on Thursday. I have been covering Ahmaud Arbery, and I think that it is needed, and it will continue to be a need, and I'm going to continue to do this. But on Thursday, I'm going to take Thursday's opportunity and conversation to salute, to congratulate, and to celebrate the 2020 grads. So please send me pictures of your graduates and information on them, their names, the high school they're graduating from, or the college they're graduating from, and what their plans are for the fall. I would like to celebrate them. If y'all have any comments, please continue this dialogue on my Wait One Legal Minute Facebook page. Please continue to send me emails. I appreciate it. I've been getting so many emails for topics that you want to discuss, but please share those comments on my Wait One Legal Minute Facebook page or my email at waitoneLegalMinute@gmail.com. Mawuli Davis, I want to hear from you. I want you on the show. I would like to hear from you because you are in the trenches. You always have been in the trenches, and I would like you here on my Facebook Live show sooner than later. We appreciate your efforts. We appreciate your commitment to our causes. So I want to thank you all for joining. Don't forget to upload your pictures of the graduates, and I will see you on Thursday at 11 o'clock. Y'all have a good one. And how about them technical difficulties I ironed out? Aren't you impressed? Tell me how impressed you are. Have a good one.